Good evening, everyone in Emmanuel everywhere land. Pray that God is keeping you as He is keeping me. As always, definitely glad to see all of you this week. Uh, want to just first just say, we are sorry for the inconvenience that the streaming has been causing due to the many changes going on with Facebook. We are trying to do the workaround, and unfortunately, even the workaround that we have for today, you're getting a after the live type stream today as well because YouTube needs more time to process our changes. So, with that said, I definitely got a word for today that we want to just walk you into this week with. And so let's start with and we'll get this stream together as we continue. We're not going to be blocked. The enemy is not going to stop us from being able to do what we need to do for you. And so, continue to pray with us and stay with us. All right. All right. Um, start with a praise break moment. I just think we just need to start with a moment of praise. And why not start with a moment of praise? And I felt like the need to do it with fathers. We're fresh off of Father's Day yesterday, and Emmanuel Everywhere salutes all of our fathers. And so I think it's only fitting that I salute my dad in this way with this um, praise break moment. Taken back to a sermon that I did quite some time ago. Maybe the year was 2002 or 2003, uh, somewhere around that time frame. Maybe even five. I it was during the era of uh, Pimp My Ride show on MTV, and I preached a message entitled "Who Pimped My Ride." In that message, I gave this intro, and it was the story, true story, about me and my love for the 70s TV show Starsky and Hutch. Oh, yeah. I mean, you mentioned Starsky and Hutch to me. That was my show. I love the friendship, the camaraderie. I love the two cops who were do-gooders and doing good and helping to keep San Francisco safe. But what really did it for me was that red Grand Torino. Oh man, that was some kind of car. Anyway, my father knew and knowing that I liked that vehicle, he bought me a Gran Torino toy car. It was back then, you didn't have the kind of cars that would, be electric that they would use today. We had to use what was called a racer stem. It was a long stem that came out this way, and you would insert it down into the center of the car, and you'd rip it out. The wheels would turn, you set the car down and it would go. And it would go where you set it. Now, it didn't turn left and right, but if you got you a nice straightaway or a hallway or someplace, you could really let that thing go. And I remember he bought it. And then one day, all of a sudden, my stem stopped working. I would put it in and I'd try to rip it out and it wouldn't work. I would put it in and try to rip it out and it wouldn't go. And it was my most prized possession. I carried the car everywhere, but all of a sudden, that stem just stopped working. And so, our praise break moment takes me to what I utilized in that message to bring a point, to bring about a point in that "Who Pimped My Ride" message. Is Daddy had to do something to me because my stem somehow had lost its connection with the car. Yeah. My stem wasn't able to do what it should do any longer because the connectivity was lost. And so, what Daddy had to do, and what shouts us as a praise break, is the same thing that needs to be done to us each and every day of our life. Dad took out his pocket knife. He saw that there was a piece in the stem that was tattered. He simply cut off that piece. And although my stem wasn't as long as it was before, it was whole. And with that cut off, I was able to stick my stem back in, pull it out, and my car was rolling again. Listen, for somebody that needs to hear this, there are things that daddy still needs to cut off of us for us to work. And my praise is, let him do it. Let him do it. Let him cut off those things every day. I'm fighting with the flesh. I'm fighting with myself. And I have to have things, and you have to have things cut off of you every day just so that you can be able to function. Imagine what life would be like if daddy just let us walk around angry, if daddy just let us walk around hurting. He has to take away some of those things so that we can function, so that our ride can roll again. And so when I ask the question, who pimped my ride? Yeah, it was Jesus. Oh, it was Jesus. He's the one that pimped our ride. He's the one that took the sacrifice as us. And because he was us, and because we trust God, because we have the Holy Spirit now, every day I'm getting trimmed up just so that I can keep rolling like my Gran Torino. That's a praise break for us, for somebody. Every day he's working on you. Things don't work all the time. And although it may not look like what it used to look like, oh, I'm so glad that I looked at my hands and they look new. I looked at my feet and they do too. Daddy pimped my ride. That's the praise break for today. I want to continue this walk this week about our fathers. I think that it's fitting. Pastor preached that message about our fathers yesterday. I want to continue to walk us in that direction. That the salute to our fathers is very important. And so today, I'd like to take a look at a passage of scripture for you, and that is out of Proverbs chapter 1, verses 8 through 9, and you will find these words. It says, "Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching, for they are a graceful garland for your head and pendants for your neck." For a few moments, I'd like to talk to you about this subject to walk into this week with: Daddy's drip. Daddy's drip. It'll make sense in a little while. No other time in history have we seen more people into how they look and what they have on. This is a time of special medicines and to lose weight and expensive gym memberships, designer everything, body piercings, ink of tattoos, and jeweled adornment. The title that this is called today is Drip. Not because it's a leaky faucet of some kind, but because drip is uh, a metaphor, if you will, that's used in this urban language, and it's called drip. And it means that you're dripping with something. It means that you have on you the best of something. You're wearing the very best. So as I think about this, my daddy had a drip to him. Yeah, my father, Thomas More Jr., had a drip to him, from his brute cologne to his style of dress. And I'm not here to tell you that drip is bad at all. For to look good is to feel good. And all of us should seek to be the best version of ourselves. But my daddy also had another drip given to him from his mother, and that was her instructions toward salvation. If he would have put that drip on, yeah, he'd have more than something on the exterior. He'd have something on the inside. Oh, I'm going somewhere. Uh, his mother gave them instructions so for salvation. And since I lost him at a young age, he was 50 years old, he now wears a different robe. His drip is different now. Yeah. And I can relate to that by thinking about people like my brother, Imani, whom we lost. He and I used to venture out looking for the best outfits to wear. We wanted to be fresh wherever we went. So we'd go looking for the best drip. And yeah, we lost him. But I know the robe that he wears, along with his little brother Karif, that drip hits different today. Yeah, they've got the best on them because they have the best in them of Jesus Christ. They're not alone. There is a drip that we wear here, That's the outward drip. But there is the drip that's worn internally that will guarantee the receipt of a different drip later. And it all comes from daddy's instructions, daddy's drip. Let's look at the text. King Solomon is the writer here. That's David's son, who he was crowned with this uncanny wisdom. He writes this proverb. The Hebrew proverb word is the Hebrew word for proverb is mashal, which means comparison. But this word proverb has to mean that also that it is provoking. And so this book of Proverbs is a thought-provoking pronouncement of principles and teachings by Solomon. The principle and teaching here that we are looking at today is drip. The drip compared to today, the drip of a father's instruction. Solomon says here, hear your daddy's instructions and do not leave out your mother's, because don't forsake her teachings either. Although we're talking about fathers, it also says don't forsake your mother's teaching as well. Two pieces of drip come from them both. The first is grace as a garland, as we look at the text. Says simply, as we go back to the text and look, forsake not your mother's teaching, hear your father's instruction, for they are a graceful garland for your head and pendant for your neck. Oh, yeah, that's drip in today's term. The young people certainly know what I'm talking about. The image of garland is a crown-like wreath of flowers and leaves, which meant you were dignified, and of royal items that were in the throne room of Israel. This royalty is passed down. So if grace is the garland that it is, and it is revealed that listening will get it for me, but the shout is that the garland that is passed down will allow us to give better to our seed than even what we have. God allowed us to live better than our parents and our fathers, and we have learned from the drip God gave us. And it's our desire to pass on a better drip to our children. So we instruct them that if they pick up what we're saying, if they pick this up, if they pick up the teachings that we give them toward the Lord, that grace is a better drip. And let me help you even further. We all know that Dell Curry was a great shooter, but we also know that Stephen Curry, his son, got instructions that may have come from his father's. He learned more from his losses. He learned about the things that he didn't do well. And when he was passing on the gift of learning to his son, he made sure he passed on the very best. That's all that Solomon is trying to tell us at first in the text. That grace, like a garland, is passed on. The royalty that we have is passed on to our seed, and it's a better drip. It's no surprise that the blessings that have come my way are a better drip than my grandmother, because she's the one who provided the drip. It's our job to create a better drip for our children, but it's also our children's job to listen and receive that better drip. Oh yeah, that's the whole thing. Is I can hand you the wreath to put on, but if you don't put it on, then you won't receive what you are supposed to receive as the gift. Our children have to obey. We have to want to put on this drip. We have to want to put on this armor of Christ, as Ephesians says. We have to want to put it on, this drip. The second thing is it talks about the wreath. It talks about the grace as a garland upon the head. The second thing it talks about is a pendant around your neck. Let me help you here. This is the victor's proof of victory. Yeah. Olympic medalists get a pendant around their neck when they win, as visual and solid proof that they are winning, that they are winners. Listening to your father yields victory. Oh, I can shout to it. When you listen to your father, it yields victory. When you listen to the instructions of your daddy, it yields victory. When you listen to his teaching and you listen to his orders and you listen to how he tells you you should proceed, when you listen to his battle instructions, oh yeah, you're going to be able to fight on all battle fronts when you listen. When you listen to his instructions, we are all better and we walk around with victory. And sooner or later, we will have victory all over us as a drip from listening to our Father's instruction. I know somebody's walking with me. Olympic medalists get this, they get the medal around their neck. Listening to our Father yields victory. Not just your earthly father, but our heavenly Father. Our shout is our daddy puts us victory around us, and all we have to do is see and trust his instructions. Victory is around you. Oh, yes, I need to tell somebody victory covers you. When you walk into rooms, victory goes ahead of you. It's visually seen that victory is upon you when you follow your father's instructions. You don't got to worry about who's in the room. You don't got to worry about demons that are looking at you. When they see you, they already see they lost because of the victory that I have on. I'm going to shout myself. There is victory on you. And it's seen by everybody when you walk in a room. That's why sometimes you get hated on a lot, because when people see you walking in victory and they're walking in defeat, they're going to hate on what you look like because you look too good for them. You've got too much going for you. You're making waves. You're doing well. You look too good. They see you as they see victory, and they only see that one thing. But you've got victory around you. As I come to a close, I'm not going to keep you long tonight. Jesus had a drip to him. Oh, I got to close you with this one. He wore every bit of what his father instructed him to do. He put on the clothes of humanity. He put on flesh and blood just so that he could die for us. He actually put on your drip. He put on what you had on of sin and shame, and he exchanged his drip for your drip. And then so that you could exchange your drip for his drip. He put it on so one day you can exchange it for an eternal drip. And that's all I got to tell somebody. And as I come to a close, I can come to the close with this shout in mind, with a song that says, I'm going to put on my robe and tell the story how I made it over. I shall wear a crown and I shall wear a robe. There's going to be a drip for somebody. And all I want to tell somebody is that daddy's drip is the best drip you could ever have on you. And all I want to tell somebody is daddy's drip. You can't lose with it. You're only going to win with it. And some glad morning when this life is over, I'm going to exchange this earthly drip for a heavenly drip. And I pray for anyone listening at the sound of my voice that you have on daddy's drip, because daddy's drip gets you a greater drip in glory. All I got for you today. Salute to our fathers, remembering this particular text, this particular passage from Proverbs. Hear, my son, your father's instruction. Forsake not your mother's teaching, for they are a graceful garland for your head, pendants around your neck. Royalty, victory is yours. That's daddy's drip. God bless you. Put in your prayer requests, and we will definitely, I think I want to get back into doing special prayer live. So go ahead and put your prayer requests in the chat so that we know that what they are, and then we'll get to those. And don't forget, Recharge on Wednesday. Come on back in and continue to study the book of Exodus with us. And as we continue to go forward, we're going to get better with our streaming again and get it right back to where it was. So just hold tight, bear with us. God is still up to something, and he's doing something special. God bless y'all. Wear your drip this week. Wear it proud.